to the Open Scoring MMA podcast. No secrets, no bias, just the real fight game. Let's get ready.
Welcome to Open Scoring MMA. This is episode 35 for July 24, 2026. Your daily look at what's happening now and next across the world of MMA and UFC. Conor McGregor's return, where he reportedly suffered a knee injury in the first seconds, is still the talk of the town, and not in a good way for the notorious one. Logan Paul, of all people, has jumped into the fray, mocking McGregor and suggesting he make a move to the WWE. Paul didn't pull any punches, saying, quote, "He's done," end quote. It's a pretty harsh take, especially coming from someone who's crossed over from YouTube to combat sports himself. But hey, that's Logan Paul for you, always looking for a headline. McGregor, for his part, isn't letting the noise get to him. He's already giving fans a glimpse into his recovery process, posting videos of himself working to strengthen that injured knee. He reportedly tore his ACL and MCL after attempting a flying kick, which is a brutal blow for any fighter, let alone one trying to make a comeback. It just goes to show you, the fight game is unforgiving, and even the biggest stars aren't immune to the injury bug. We're all hoping for a full and speedy recovery for Conor, because love him or hate him, the sport is always more exciting when he's in it. Now, this next story is a bit of a gut punch, honestly. Former UFC champion Jessica Andrade has revealed she's currently working as a delivery driver. She told Low Kick MMA, quote, "I work as a delivery driver. I deliver meals and things like that. I just pick up orders through an app and make the deliveries," end quote. She added, quote, "I do whatever it takes. I'm not afraid of hard work. I can do just about anything," end quote. This has raised some real concerns among fans. Here's a former champion, someone who's been at the pinnacle of the sport, having to take on a gig job to make ends meet. It really highlights the financial realities for many fighters, even those who've held gold. It's a stark reminder that the glitz and glamour of the UFC often only apply to a select few at the very top. It's a tough business, and it makes you wonder about the long-term financial security for a lot of these athletes once their fighting careers are over. Speaking of new opportunities, One Championship has been busy adding to its roster, signing a trio of world-class MMA talents. Brandao, Takeuchi, and Elmonasid are the latest stars to join the promotion. This is a smart move by One, continuing to bring in top-tier talent and expand their global footprint. It's always exciting to see new faces and new matchups in different organizations, and it keeps the competitive landscape fresh. Over in the UFC, we've got some interesting developments on the fight card front. Alexander Popek is finally set to make his long-awaited UFC debut on August 1st in Belgrade, Serbia. He's stepping in to replace an injured fighter, which is a huge opportunity for the German standout. Making your debut on short notice is always a challenge, but it's also a chance to make a big statement. We'll be keeping an eye on that one. And speaking of big fights, unbeaten UFC star Navajo Sterling is set to face former champion Jan Blachowicz. This is undoubtedly the biggest fight of Sterling's career, a true test against a former light heavyweight king. Blachowicz is a tough out for anyone, and if Sterling can get past him, it'll be a massive boost to his career. This is the kind of matchup that can really launch a fighter into title contention. Now for some breaking news that's got the MMA community on Reddit buzzing. An account claiming to be Ian Machado Gary's brother has absolutely torn into him. The YouTube account is alleging all sorts of things about Gary's family life, his relationship with Layla, and even a missed funeral. This is a pretty wild situation, and if these claims are true, it paints a very different picture of the fighter. Family drama spilling out into the public eye is never a good look, and it's definitely going to be a distraction for Gary. It's a reminder that even in the high-stakes world of professional fighting, personal issues can often overshadow everything else. Nora, what do you make of this Ian Machado Gary situation? It's a complete mess, right?
It certainly appears to be, Duke. While the veracity of the claims is yet to be fully established, the public nature of the accusations is undeniably detrimental to Gary's image. It's a significant external variable that could impact his focus.
External variable, I love it. You mean it's a huge distraction that's going to mess with his head, right? I mean, family stuff like this it's got to be tough to compartmentalize.
Precisely. The emotional toll of such public allegations can be substantial, potentially affecting performance. It's a factor the model can't quantify, but one that a human observer would certainly consider.
See, this is why we need both of us. The eye test tells me this is bad news for Gary, regardless of the truth. It's a cloud hanging over him.
Agreed. The optics alone are unfavorable. It's a situation that requires careful monitoring, both from a personal and professional standpoint for Gary.
So if you had to put a percentage on it, how much does this drop his stock in your estimation, just based on the distraction factor?
Without more data, it's speculative. However, if these claims prove to be accurate and the family rift is as deep as suggested, it could represent a 5 to 10% decrement in his perceived stability, which could translate to performance.
5 to 10%? That's a lot in a sport where margins are so thin. It just goes to show the fight isn't always in the cage.
Indeed, the mental game is as crucial as the physical.
All right, let's shift gears to some title talk. We're hearing that Arman Tsarukyan is ready for a UFC title fight in September. Reportedly, he's set to take on BMF champion Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira at UFC 331. Tsarukyan himself confirmed, quote, "We signed the contract on Monday," end quote. Word is UFC 331 is scheduled for September, and it's the first of the autumn's numbered pay-per-view events. This is a massive fight if it comes to fruition. Tsarukyan has been on an absolute tear, and a matchup against a legend like Oliveira for the BMF strap would be an absolute barn burner. The UFC hasn't officially announced anything yet, but if Tsarukyan's words are true, we're in for a treat. Now let's talk about this weekend's action. UFC Abu Dhabi is reportedly going down this Saturday at the Etihad Arena on Fight Island. The weigh-ins just wrapped up, and all 26 fighters on the card successfully made weight. The main event is a light heavyweight clash between number 2 ranked Magomed Ankalaev and number 9 ranked Bogdan Guskov. Both fighters looked ready to go, and the ceremonial weigh-ins kicked off earlier today. Ankalaev, who has been a top contender in the light heavyweight division, is looking to solidify his position at the top, while Guskov is a fast-rising contender hoping to make a name for himself against a top opponent. This is a crucial fight for both men with serious title implications. And speaking of Magomed Ankalaev, he's already clapped back at Alex Pereira. Pereira apparently laughed off Ankalaev's trilogy call-out on Instagram, and Ankalaev was quick to respond saying, quote, "He must have just woken up," end quote. It's clear there's some bad blood there, and Ankalaev is definitely gunning for that third fight with Pereira. This kind of back and forth is what makes the sport so exciting, and it adds another layer of intrigue to the light heavyweight division. That's all for today's show. Make sure you tune in this weekend for UFC Abu Dhabi. We'll be back tomorrow with all the latest news and analysis. Before you go, 2 quick things. Check out our free fight tracker at tracker.openscoringmma.com. with every upcoming UFC and PFL card, live odds, and where to watch, all in one place. And follow us on YouTube. Just search Open Scoring MMA for breaking news alerts, fight breakdowns, and videos you won't get here on the feed. That's it for today's Open Scoring MMA. Keep your hands up, and we'll see you next time.